close. See ya.
See ya.
Oh boy. All right, guys, so I had all day to think about this. For context, today is the day after the election, so November 9th. This morning I uploaded a video just completely raw. I shot it. I went to bed last night not knowing how close the race was, let alone that Donald Trump was going to win. I woke up this morning absolutely in shock. I mean, I made a video a few weeks ago with my prediction on how this was going to go, and it baffled my brain this morning. I thought for sure I was having some kind of a dream, a nightmare. I don't know. So, because I didn't take in any media yesterday, except for about an hour, when I got home, after I went home, I didn't look at the television. With my wife, we went to a doctor's appointment, and the whole time at the doctor's appointment, didn't look at social media, anything like that. So all day long, I had avoided any poll results, any media, all this stuff. So I was in the dark. After we got home from the doctor's, I headed over to the polling place, cast my vote, and went home. Started cooking dinner, and just as I was sitting down to eat, my wife turned on the TV, and at this point, neither of the candidates had even broken 100 electoral votes, and they were kind of making predictions here and there, and I still saw the map and thought, okay, it's going exactly how I would have anticipated it. No shock, no surprises. But because of my disillusionment with the whole process right now, I was not interested in finding out any results. So I went to bed. I got to bed earlier than I've ever gotten in months. Well, at about 11:30, my wife woke me up and she said, Donald Trump won. And I said, no, he didn't. No, they're saying that he's got a clear path to victory, that they don't see how he won't win. And I didn't believe it. I just thought, okay, it's a TV show. The media is doing whatever they can to hype it up, whatever. And I went back to bed. Well, I get up this morning. I go to put my phone on silent, and I got a notification from Google with the poll results announcing Donald Trump as the winner. And I mean, I didn't hit the ground, but I was in shock. Just blown away. How could this happen? Now, for some more context, I assumed there was no way America could see through Donald Trump's flaws, his inexperience, everything, to elect Hillary. I just assumed that people wouldn't show up. You know, he has been mobilizing huge crowds, and I hadn't really talked much about it, but I've noticed in doing some research that at his rallies, he was polling big amounts of people. And at her rallies, She wasn't. I mean, significantly less. Now, what does all that mean? Maybe nothing. Rallies aren't indicative of actual turnout, but obviously in this case it was. Now, what do I think happened? How did this happen? And this is what I've been trying to focus on all day long. I believe two main components led to this ultimate outcome. And I'll talk about those in just a minute when I get to my quiet spot. Interesting. I'm not sure what happened there, but glad it didn't happen a few seconds later. Whew. Okay, so what I think the two main contributions were that led to the outcome we got. First and foremost, media. I think the media helped to suppress voters for the Democratic Party. If you remember polls, every poll that led up to this election, every major media outlet had Trump down huge amounts, double digits in some cases. And that gives a false sense of security. You have people out there that aren't going to take the time to go vote if they think it's not needed. And in this case, the thought of, well, there's such a huge difference, there's no way that, you know, Hillary can lose even if I don't turn out. Now, combine that with the fact that it's been shown that the media was going hand in hand, giving aid in the questions and things like that to Hillary for quite some time now. And you get a pretty good idea that the media was trying to suppress stories, negative stories about Hillary Clinton, and focus on the stories about Trump. But the problem there is, there was always these hints, these inklings that there was scandal. And a lot of Americans, if they smell smoke, they look for fire. With Trump, the media did a fantastic time or job persecuting and exposing Donald Trump. However, there wasn't a lot of mystery. Where with Hillary, this mystery was always there. The emails. What did they contain? What could they have said? The Clinton Foundation. It was a nonprofit that really guarded its financial records. And you've got the server. You know, you got a private server in your house, obviously for emails, but why do you need this? Unless you're doing something unscrupulous. The media never focused on it. They never really went after her and prosecuted her and let Americans decide based on the media's determination of the severity of the evidence. They just left it alone. Now they exposed it a little bit, but for the most part, they left it alone. They played it down. And when you do that, you cause curiosity. And in this case, the curiosity, I believe, led voters to do the research on their own. And it's very, very convenient, the internet, that you don't have to do much hard work, much research to find documentation now. To find things that stand out as shady. So with that, they basically left a fire smoldering, and people found that smolder and exposed it on their own. And what they started doing, I believe, is they started distrusting the media for good reason, because the media was in fact working with the Democratic Party to try and assist Hillary become elected as the president. This is all documented. Now, throw in also, this is the second big one, the fact that the Democratic National Committee handpicked Hillary. What does that mean? Essentially, you had a movement going on the Democratic side for tearing down the system through Bernie Sanders. And this movement was doused. I mean, it was a fire. It was a fire that could have become a raging fire, just like the Trump fire. Trump started off as the joke, as the not serious guy. And then he became the anti-establishment guy. Doing all that ultimately led to people getting behind him, supporting him, agreeing with him. And through that agreement, he got stronger and stronger until he eventually won the nomination. That just goes to show you that the Republicans were willing to accept the people's choice. The Democrats, on the other hand, they took that fire and they poured water on it. They chose to simply handpick the candidate that they wanted for whatever reason. My belief is that reason was favoritism. They owed her something for whatever reason. Don't know why. My guess would be political favors. So they made the choice to extinguish the people's fire in Bernie Sanders in favor of taking the establishment favorite in Hillary Clinton, even though Hillary did not have nearly as much fire in her. She was obviously not liked the same way Bernie was liked. The only people who liked Hillary were the hardline establishment guys, not this new progressive movement that was fueling the Bernie campaign. But it didn't matter. The Democratic National Committee came together and tried to figure out, how can we subdue this? How can we get this support away from him? And they came up with all kinds of smears and things like that they were going to use. Ultimately, it didn't matter, because they did a good enough job simply moving the votes around that the scene was taken out. Bernie never had the chance that Trump had. Now, you look at the nominations, you got Donald Trump, who is obviously going to lose to everybody except one person. Someone so crooked, so unelectable, Hillary Clinton. She's the only person that could have been chosen to run against Trump that he could beat. And that's how you get this outcome. You put someone so bad up against someone even worse and force the people to choose. It's easy. People are going to go with the guy that's talking about shaking up the establishment, who gets that fire, that fuel in the belly, and causes everybody to burn. Bernie had it, and the Democrats threw it away. Anyway, guys, I'm almost home, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.